Right, okay, we'll move on. So mine is probably going to shock people, actually, because people probably think, right, that after IEM Cologne and the results, that if anything, I would be going the opposite way, and I would be crowing about this and telling you all that I told you all during the online period to stop hyping the teams that were number one, that they aren't all going to win. So I'm actually going to go the other way. It's people hating on Gambit because of the Cologne result. Motherfuckers, like, people are acting, no joke, like they came last place. They're acting like, oh, they were exposed, they're all shit. Listen, they were exposed in the sense that they had no weaknesses online, that they looked like fucking Prime Astralis online. They were like almost impossible to beat unless Simple and other people went supernova. Yeah, I agree, they didn't look that good. But even then, the storylines don't even make sense. How could there be onliners if when you go and look at the stats, Shiro and Axel got their numbers? They should be the onliners! They've never been to the fucking majors. Like, the idea that they're like, dude, the teams they lost to all made the semi-finals. Like, it's not like they got banged out like we were talking about earlier. Like, it's not like when Vitality lost to 9Z, like a team that we've never heard of and we'll never hear of again. Like, they were still a very good team. They had a chance to maybe even still go to the final and win, which, by the way, how impressive is that for a team that's basically playing like their first real LAN in like a true sense of tier one, etc. Like, I actually think, listen, you can certainly make a lot of good points, like I alluded to, about like, this is the difference between playing on LAN. This is the difference between your coach not being able to talk all the time. This is the difference between being in that server, seeing that ESL logo on the fucking wall, looking into the scoreboard and seeing, fuck, I'm playing Simple here. Like, I'm not in my comfy chair at home with the fucking, with the Coke and all the fucking nachos and my poster on the wall of fucking, I don't even know, I'd make a boomer reference to a woman maybe from like the 90s when it's old sleeve, that one, boys. No, it's not like that. There's like a million factors. So I think this is mad overblown, personally. Like, I certainly think they weren't the best. But the idea people are going to like sort of hate on them or sort of have Schadenfreude. What's sort of have Schadenfreude for? They were one of the most diligent teams online. They seem to be very respectful. They earned their way there. Like, here's the difference, right? Is if, I mean, the obvious example would have been like last year's Heroic or something. I never thought last year's Heroic, if LANs had come, they'd have never won any tournaments. There's no way that team was doing the shit they were doing online, right? Not least because Hunter was apparently fucking cheating, so you couldn't have done that on LAN, could you? Right? I would have crowed if that team had gone to a LAN and come like 8th place or sort of 6th place. This team, I love Gambit. I think they're fucking sick.
I think you can also, like, the fact that they made it to quarterfinals, I think the only reason why this might be seen as a bad run by some people, including myself, is maybe because they lost to FaZe. Like, let's say they lose to Gambit or Astralis or something in the, I don't know, but like, if they lost to a different team, then it might be different. But I can tell you us, like, the fact FaZe probably hated their life when they saw they were playing Gambit in the quarters. Like, if people actually thought they were onliners, they would have loved life meeting Gambit in the quarters, right? But I'm pretty sure FaZe were thinking like, fucking hell, like, we gotta beat Gambit just in the quarterfinals. Like, what is this shit, you know? And all the people that I speak to, like other pros and stuff, think Gambit will have no problems going to LANs, like performance-wise. I think they'll do just fine. And I think also it could be like random that they, like, after all, they still got a playoff finish, and eventually you gotta have some kind of dip. So it could also be timing-wise that, okay, yeah, it's the first LAN, but it's not like there was even a crowd or anything. So it could also be random that they just had an off day, you know?
By the way, even that one, because we talked about this on By the Numbers, Richard pointed out, one of the reasons people were saying, oh, they lost to FaZe, because obviously FaZe had that record where they won like one series online, and they were technically like 36th ranked in the world. And I was like, that is the most fucking fugazi 36th rank of all time, because it's just because it was online, wasn't it? Like, look at the team they have, all mega experienced. And also, there's another thing you've never experienced if you've only played online Counter-Strike. When all of a sudden the coach can't talk all the time, and you don't have that extra help and that security blanket, and you're facing Carrigan, and it's like fucking Mirage, and he's just mid-rounding you every fucking round all across the map. Yeah. You've never experienced that. That's a pressure cooker you have never been in as a player. Now, what's cool, by the way, is you'll adapt to that. Now, next time you're in that scenario, you might actually make the right move, you know. But the first time you face that, that's like your, you know, in the NBA, they always say the welcome to the NBA moment when, you know, like some legend like fucking crosses you over and dunks on you, whatever. That's your welcome to LAN moment, is when someone does that to you, you know.
I also think the fact that FaZe had, I saw before Cologne, I think FaZe had an 11% win rate in the last 3 months online. So essentially, it could only go up from there, you know? Like, there is no way FaZe could get worse with the players they have. In my opinion, they could only get better. And I think it was just a matter of time before they had, like, the first good result. And then it just happened to be against Gambit as well. So I don't blame Gambit at all for having a quarterfinals finish here.
Yeah, I think Olaf said in an interview at the event that he thinks that going back to LAN won't make FaZe worse, but it'll make other teams worse. But he kind of didn't. He kind of like said that we're not going to get better at LAN. It's just that other teams will get worse. I think they got better at LAN. I think
they got better as well.
Yeah. I think that was disingenuous a little bit from him, but also yeah, in the game that they played against FaZe, like I was thinking of like making Gambit's result my bad for this show, but then I really kind of like thought about it and looked at some of the notes I took when I was watching, and it was like they got a little unlucky with their stacks on CT side, like things that kind of have worked for them a lot online, and that's just kind of like that's a little bit unfortunate for them, in a decider map that you stack the wrong site, because that was one of their hallmark traits, is that they would do that just out of the blue, and it was consistently a good read. So
by the way,
it could be a bounce
I'm actually a bit sad that you changed that one, because obviously I'm the only one who knows all the points. I was low-key hoping, Valder, because think of the order I went in there. He would have done his bad as like Gambit on, like they weren't that good on, and their man would have been people hating on Gambit. Like say that, it would have been amazing. But sad, whatever, one day it'll happen, boys. Listen, one day it'll happen, and like a true good teammate and colleague, I will set you up like that. So don't worry about it. So, want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or be a pleb and don't.